Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This will be part 2 on the FICM for Craig in Virginia. He approved the repairs and everything is ready. Now I'm going to perform the test. I'm going to show you, and also for him, how actually it was so important that he actually approved and follow my recommendations. So I'm going to first show you the connections that look all the same. I want you to see, for those that have seen the first video, you will notice the difference now on the main capacitors. I also apply, let me give you 1 second, a special coat onto the whole board. And I want to show you that. You can see that through the UV light. So it's a special water resistant coating. I put 6 coats of that to try to help and protect the, a full repair module. So when I say that I do something, you can take it for granted because I definitely will. All right, so yeah, so this is definitely a fully repair FICM. Let me move the camera so we can see a little more in there. I think that's good. All right, but let me take you over to the screen where I have now his folder. I can take the Pico away so you can see this. So these are the pictures that I took when I removed the capacitors, and I want you to just look at this. These are electrolytic capacitors, and that is the problem. They start with age to leak, and they start to damage all those pads, because if you see here, right here, those are very thin lines, and those are communication lines that goes from one component to the other, which the one on the bottom, that with like a whole bunch of legs, that's the main microprocessor on this module. So yeah, if that acid reaches there, goodbye, right? So if they explode, goodbye, right? So, and they make a hole specifically on this area, that's where the most common problem as far as explosion happens. And the reason is because right here, we got the pre-driver for all the injectors. And when that takes a hit, because of the acid and everything, it just makes a hole through. But the next most common problem on these computers is this leakage in here that will eat the pads. In the upper layer is not such much of a problem, but internally, this board has 6 different layers, fiber reference, communication lines that go under it, because you can see what the manufacturer did in here. They put the main lines in the top and that power and ground, and there is another layer of power and another layer of ground that runs across the entire board. And when that acid gets in there, it melts it together, and then it's impossible to fix that short, and it's garbage. I have tried, believe me, and it was just a waste of time, and that doesn't work. But I am happy that Craig approved the repair. So here is my conversation I sent him. I say, hi, Craig. I tested your module, and I'm always honest with every customer that comes to Mike Salazar Diagnostics. I tested your module, and all seems to be working properly. I will still recommend to complete repair the FICM due to age of capacitors and drivers in it. Repair costs, that is in between me and the customer. I need your approval to proceed with the repair. Here's the video I made for you performing my test on the bench. And that's a video that I can put, and I will put on the description of this one. I'm going to put the link for the first part. I'm also going to put, my website on the title, so you can copy and paste it in case you need to repair any automotive or marine ECM or instrument cluster. Just please contact me first, and then we can start chatting, having a conversation, and then I can definitely help you with anything you need. All right, and then at the top you see where he says, okay, thank you, I appreciate the input and watch the video. Please reveal the FICM. You have my permission. So this is definitely, it will be a happy customer. All right, so let's go over to here. Let me put the picoscope and the full probe in the screen. I'm going to let you know again what we have in there is the blue and the red channel on the right side is an oscilloscope. That's just a fancy graphic multimeter, just to say so, right? So I can capture and see signals that otherwise I will have to hear or use a multimeter or so. So the FICM, so the oscilloscope, that's what it does. I can see that voltage interpreted in a signal with colors and everything, and I can show you. So the blue and the red is the COM bus. The COM bus is the communication that uses these modules to talk in between each other. Yes, I'm running. I need the RPM. Yes, I have the RPM. Everything, fault codes, and all that stuff in there. And there goes into that bus. the yellow and the green channel that I have in there are connected to the green into one bank of injectors, which is on this time on your side, the right side, and then the yellow is attached to the other bank. The way this module works, if any of the injectors, so more than two of injectors fail, it will not run that bank to protect the engine and to protect the module itself. It will try to and attempt to make it run again every time you cycle the key. So if you have a problem, stop, call me, and I will guide you through so you don't burn your FICM or damage your engine. So that's the way the system works. And I have my own computer in here. This is my own stuff. I have also the BCM, which is very important in order to, because it has a key, and realistically, I don't need a key. All I have is a resistor in place in the BCM. I performed a relearn with that resistor, and I don't need no keys. I don't need no nothing, and it's working really good. That's what you see here. Let me just move you over to the big screen. It's going to be a little hard to see from there, but yeah, this is the BCM, and that little cable you see here is just a resistor. It's specific to that BCM. The resistor is not the same always, but I have a workaround that you can have it working forever with a very specific and unique resistance, and it will work. And that's what I did in there. All right, let's get this to run. All right, so again, we are going to see in the green and on the red, yellow, the injector voltage. And that's what I have, all those. It says maximum at the bottom. One is for the green channel and the other one is for the yellow channel, so you get to see how they are running. And this FICM was running good, no problems, but definitely needed work, and you can see that. My reason, or the reason now of the video, is so Craig and all of you can see a fully operational FICM. And at first, I didn't run it for that long because I knew that he had problems and the FICM had problems. So I don't want to run it for too long, because what if it shorts in here, the capacitor starts leaking and explodes in my hands? No. So I always perform a very short test just to make sure that the pre-driver, which is a very expensive part that I don't usually replace unless it's bad, because again, increases the price exponentially. I need to test that to give the customer a good recommendation, and it's working good. But it's not very common for that to fail. It's only a few cases so far. I maybe say 12 out of probably 150 or so FICMs that have repair. All right, but let's raise the RPM so we can see. Well, right now that was a little too much. We're not changing throttle position and so on. So, but everything is working good. So let me change my timing so we can see that we have multiple activations. I'm just changing the timing on the screen capture for the oscilloscope so we can see more of those spikes on the yellow and on the green. That means the injectors are running perfectly all along, no misfires, no nothing. So I'm going to go back to here on the full probe, and I'm going to reduce the RPM. So you see, without changing the timing on the oscilloscope, now we have less activations. Why? Because now I'm in 950 RPM. Before I was in like 3,000 or so. And if I go lower than that, we will have less and less activations. And that's just the way. I'm not sure if you can pick this up on my microphone. Can pick this up, but let me just get you.